Good morning, it's Monday. I'm not at work, as you may have guessed. It's 10 a.m. and I'm actually at the gym. No, I'm not training, obviously. If you've caught up on last week's vlog, you'll know that I have had a phrenic nerve spasm. I'm very, very tired from it still. The reason why I'm here is because I want to try a walk. Walks have been challenging over the weekend, and I want to just see, in a controlled environment, so not out on my own on the street kind of thing, in a controlled environment, how I fare with a walk, basically, which I'll do on the treadmill at a low speed and just test how that impacts me still, because I obviously need to know that. I've spoken to a few people in the kind of chiropractic, osteopath, soft tissue world over the weekend. I'm in with Katrina tomorrow at 4 to have a look at me, and it explains a lot actually of my experiences in A&E. I was given Oromorph, which did absolutely nothing, and that explains a lot apparently in terms of like nerve pain as to why that wouldn't work. So that's reassuring to know that, you know, it more than likely is this, because I've not been given any solid answers, and I'm still waiting for a checkup from my GP and a follow-up from them following, you know, the weekend and what the next steps are for me, because A&E could not give me them. A&E basically, as you would imagine, ruled out all the worst case scenarios, so heart attack, punctured lung. There were others, but I can't remember now. I was in a bit of a state. So that's where we're at. I'm breathing a lot better now. I'm not when it's in spasm, because of where the phrenic nerve runs. You've got two of them. One runs over this side, one runs over this side from your diaphragm up to your neck. I am impacted on this side, which is why I couldn't get any comfort from like leaning to my left when I was in A&E. The only like position of comfort I could find was slightly leaning to my right and stretching out, and even then it wasn't, I wouldn't call it comfortable. It just made me shout less. It wasn't great. So that makes a lot of sense as to why shallow breathing is all I could achieve, and the pain running up into my shoulder, my neck and my back. So basically, from what I understand, there is very little treatment for it other than to rest and to see someone in this kind of industry to almost reset it, have a look at it and see what I've done. I don't know whether it has been caused by stress. It could be caused by something just as simple as sleeping funny on the Thursday night into the Friday, which may be why I woke up with it on the Friday. I'm not sure, but either way, today is about resting completely, other than trying to get a good walk in and just see how I manage that and how my breathing is. I think this is the best way for me to kind of monitor my recovery and see how it's going. I'm not one for sitting still. I do need to try and keep moving. That is what one of my friends said, who is a practicing remedial therapist. So I'm following her instruction and trying to keep moving, essentially. Another reason for not going to work today is because I don't think sitting at my desk is going to particularly help me, and it's something that I need to address in the next couple of days when I work out how recovered I am. But I'm wary that it could be a stress thing. So it's hard, isn't it? When you're off work, you get stressed about being off work. Sometimes the best thing is to go back to work, so that at least you know, I don't know, but I've not been off work sick for a very, very long time, in terms of like long-term sick. I think not since 2018, so a good 6 years, nearly 7 years. So that is the plan. Try a walk, see how I get on. No cardio. I don't feel comfortable doing cardio. I will see how I get on with my walk as to whether I put it on a little bit of an incline to test how I might do with cardio, but that's as far as it's going this week. Steps wise over the weekend, very much under. I think I did about 6,000 yesterday because we took Maggie out. Saturday, probably like 0. I don't think I broke 1,000 steps on Saturday. Friday, because I'd done that walk on the treadmill instead of training, I think I probably got about 5,000 in. So not none, but not where I'm supposed to be. Amy is completely aware of what's been happening to me. I was talking to her whilst I was in A&E to let her know, and I'm going to give her a little update today where she will probably agree with me that resting is the best option anyway. But I've got my Hydromax and I'm just gonna take it slow, take it steady and see how I get on. Okay, so my test is done. That didn't go too badly. I still got tightness here and into my shoulder, so I'm still very wary. I'm not going to be pushing anything crazy this week. Training will probably wait until next week, but I might still try and get in just for my steps and to try a little bit of cardio, which I did. So rather than go on the Stairmaster, which is usually my go-to, I put the treadmill on an incline. The incline takes longer for your heart rate to get up. A lot of people use the Stairmaster in cardio because very quickly you are up where you need to be. Now, an incline treadmill walk is much harder to get your heart rate consistently high enough. But I was monitoring it and I did okay. I did all right. My heart rate was around 127 to 132 the entire time, and I just kept on pushing it a little bit more with the speed. Had the incline on about 4.5 and I did okay. I'm still getting the tightness, but I knew that it wasn't going to escalate into what I'd experienced on Friday, which is reassuring. I'm not going to push myself anymore today. I've got my steps in. I did about 7,000 in there on the treadmill, which took me a lot longer than it normally would, but I didn't want to again push myself too hard. I know that I'll get 1,000 in throughout the day just doing whatever, because I know that I do that even just on a day where I don't do a lot at all and just pottering. So my steps and my cardio are done for the day. I'm gonna probably rest for the entirety of the day. I still need to prioritize rest. God, my arm has come out in like the most hanging, I don't know, ew, from my cannula. I need to test my capacity to do things, but I also need to rest. So it's really, really bloody hard to work out what I can do and where I'm still having pain and stuff. But I need to see how normal I am before I return to normal life, if that makes sense. I think I did actually get more pain just as I was walking up and down the stairs to go to the toilet in between my steps. So today is definitely going to be a mindful one. It is Tuesday. I'm back at work. Whether I should be or not, I'm not sure. It is what it is. I'm keeping an eye on myself. I got some steps in this morning. I did some incline walk cardio and I feel alright. I just feel very stressed when I talk to work about some of the things that are bothering me about work at the moment. But I just had a very, very honest, and do you know what I'm going to say, brave conversation in my return to work. I invited HR in so that they could hear it as well, because how they've handled some things for me over the last few months has not been great. But I don't think they realise how not great it was, so I don't blame them for it. I just don't think they understand. They're good people. I don't think they did it intentionally, but it's caused me a lot of stress, and here we are. So I've just had a really brave, open, honest conversation, and I feel a lot better for doing that. But I do have, sorry, Maggie's trying to chew my chair. I do have my appointment later on where I'm going to go and have my phrenic nerve looked at and see what that looks like. I don't know what's going to come of that. We'll see. But I am back at work now. I'm going to have a cuddle with the dog because she seems to want to, which is quite nice. And then I'm going to carry on. Wish me luck. Does it look yummy?
Yeah, the ones at the back of your head.
Brilliant. Well, that was agony. I've also got a banging headache now, which I can only assume is the rush of blood to my head from all of my needlework. Katrina explored something else, which I cannot remember the name of because it just sounded like she'd headbutted a keyboard and the words came out her mouth. But it was something around the inflammation of my rib, like the muscles in between your ribs. And she explored that first and then was happy that it wasn't that, and agreed with the GP that I saw at the hospital that it was my phrenic nerve. I thought it was phrenic nerve, and she was calling it phrenic nerve, so I don't know whether I've just added in a silent R, don't know. Anyway, she was satisfied that it was that. She's loosened off all of my left side. My left side apparently was so tight that it was unreal. So you don't know until you know, I guess, and something like that happens. I probably should have addressed any tightness here sooner. Maybe that might not have happened, I don't know. But either way, I've had some remedial treatment now. I'm gonna invest in a long hot water bottle that I can drape around my shoulders. I also just need to keep on top of going to see her. I always prioritize it in prep. Weirdly, in off season, when I'm spending money on other things, or, you know, I'm not prioritizing it when I'm lifting the really heavy shit and trying to put in all the extra work. So it just seems very silly. But priorities change, don't they? I've had a wedding to pay for and all of that kind of shit this year. So I need to stop going to see her when I'm at crisis point, basically. But today has been a lot like emotionally as well, with my return to work. I've not addressed it on here yet because I've not had anything to fucking say, and that's where part of the problem is. But basically, back in August, I put my big girl pants on and said to myself, I'm going to go down the NHS adult ADHD diagnosis pathway. It's taken me a long time to do it. I've thought for the last 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years that this is something that I have, and it's not something that particularly I want to, it's not something that I'm like desperate to medicate or anything like that, but it's something I've been thinking about for a very long time. And I made the decision back in August that I'm going to ask work, I'm going to ask Andy, I'm going to ask people I know to help me. And what that first stage is to get on the pathway is to have letters written to your GP. In my case anyway, I don't know whether it's the same for everyone else, but it's around getting letters of like almost confirmation that you exhibit the symptoms. Now, I thought work would be the perfect place to go to for this, because that's where, if I'm having the symptoms and I need the support, that's where I need it. I need the help with focusing, I need the help with task management and those kinds of things. And maybe if I understood myself more, maybe I could ask everybody else to support me more in some of that kind of tasking and delegation and that kind of thing. So that's where my thought process was. I have really struggled to get that from work. And if I'm being honest, on Thursday of last week, I hit a wall. Didn't realise how massive the impact was on me emotionally and stress-wise, and how I was feeling about work. I'm feeling a bit resentful. I'm feeling a bit angry. On Thursday, I exploded. Thursday night on my way home, I had an hour-long conversation with Andy, sobbing my heart out. sobbing my heart out, feeling very much like I go out of my way a lot to help people. It's what I love to do. It's what I do in my spare time. It's what I do naturally. I try and give back to others as much as I possibly can, often not doing enough of it back to myself, which I've been really trying to do on these weekends recently, because I've felt that. I've felt the stress, but I've not realised exactly what it was that's been upsetting me so much. And Thursday I exploded. Friday was Friday, and I think that is what has caused it. Based on the feedback that I've had from the GP at the hospital, the doctor at the hospital was like, are you under any like emotional stress at the moment? And I said at the time, no more than like the next person, I don't think, like the average person. And then when I got home, I reflected on the night before and thought, okay, maybe I am, maybe I don't know. But anyway, that was the discussion of my return to work today, and how frustrated I've been, how upset it has made me, clearly more than I thought, and just had some really good conversation about that. So I feel a lot more supported at work by expressing that today. But anyway, I was getting into that to kind of give an explanation as to why I think some of this stress has really peaked for me recently, and why I think that happened. Again, it could have been, I could have just fucking slept funny, but let's be honest, all the signs are there, aren't they? So I'm feeling a lot better about that now. I'm just going to look after it. I'm going to be mindful. Tomorrow I am going to do my cardio. I'm going to attempt the stairs. Because I don't feel any tightness in my chest. And I was only feeling that this morning, I think, when I was pushing it a little bit further. It might be okay now, but let's see. I'll see. If it becomes too much and I don't think it's ready to be pushed, and I don't feel like I'm ready to be pushed, I'll go back on the incline and do it that way and see how I get on. But yeah, it's just going to be a day-by-day thing. I've spoken to Amy today, given her an update. She's happy that I've kept her informed, and she is like, day by day, let's take this day by day. So yeah, that's that. Also really annoying, bumped into my old lecturer when I was in Tesco picking up some bits after my massage, and picking up Maggie's flea tablets. I'm wearing Crocs outside. I'm disappointed in myself. Good morning. It's Wednesday. Maggie. We are out for our morning walk. Maggie! Stop pulling. Right, sit. We're not walking until we stop pulling. Oh, hey, sorry, that was chaos. I waited until I got home in the end to start vlogging, because Jesus. She was very pulley today and needed reining in quite a lot. I would normally be in the office. My treatment last night gave me a really, really bad headache. I had a couple of Cocodamol. I fell asleep, but I don't know whether I fell asleep with headache, but I have woken up with headache again. The lighting in the office gives me a headache on a good day, so I've decided against it. It's what's best for me, and I can still get the job done, to be honest. I could still be off sick, so I'm feeling very, very tired from that. Very headachy from that. But at least we've got a little bit of a walk done already. I will go and get my cardio in later, and the rest of my steps possibly on my lunch or after, because I've done about, is it going to update? Is that really the only amount I've done? About 3,000, just there. So a couple more of those would be good, wouldn't it? A couple more of those on my cardio, and then we're done for the day. We check in with Amy tomorrow and see what she says. I really don't know how my check-in's going to go tomorrow. She's being quite positive at the minute, but I'm really, really scared that she's going to pull prep from the get-go. Surely not, if I can manage my stress. Speaking of stress, I'm pretty sure the fridge is broken, so that's good. Here we bloody go then. Look what Maggie just found on her walk. Taking him out of the road. Popping him over here. We've just got back from a walk where Maggie discovered her first hedgehog. Could have gone a lot worse, but it was fine. I haven't been wearing this jumper at the gym, by the way. That would be gross, wouldn't it, if I just came back, had a shower and put it back on again. My cardio went okay. I am quite tired. Look at me. Fucking hell. I am quite tired. Look at my face. But I have just sat and done my check-in. I'm quite proud of myself for coming through this week. It's been really hard emotionally. I'm due on my period tomorrow and I have not fucking dealt with this well, bro. Like, not at all. And I'll tell you for why. I've not been as consistent with my supplements the last couple of weeks. My DIM supplement levels me out lovely. I can tell.
Of course it is, I can tell.
And yeah, it's not been great. I'm very tired. I fucked myself over emotionally, which is not ideal. And whilst I'm not really very happy with how I've dealt with myself and been an absolute arsehole, sometimes life really do be like that. I'm just making my porridge meal, which I'm gonna have whilst watching Bake Off. Quite pleased my cardio went okay. I've sat and written my check-in, but it is just an absolute word vomit of the week. Amy knows everything that's happened anyway, because I've kept her pretty informed, and she's like, day by day, and I'm like, yeah, that's all I can do. I'm hoping to get back to training on Friday. I think it'll be an upper session. I wouldn't go straight in with legs, too taxing and all that. But yeah, this week's been such an eye-opener for me on how much I can tolerate, how much I should tolerate as well, like how much I should put up with. Just taking these out of the warm fridge. Fucking hell, it smells already. That's so annoying. Our new fridge can't even arrive until Sunday, which is even more annoying, but do you know what? At least I'm able to buy myself a new fridge, and I'm grateful for that. I just think sometimes we complain about things in life, me included. I can be a complainer and a moaner on here, but if you're able to sort yourself out when something goes wrong and it not be an absolute fucking nightmare, you're in a very privileged position, and you should tell yourself that before you have a moan, really. So yeah, it's annoying, but it's sorted, isn't it? We're away this weekend with friends, which is going to be very interesting because it's the first time that we've all been together with two babies. They're going to be about 6 months old, and Maggie. So 6 has become 9 in the space of 6 months. I'm sure it'll be fine. I am looking forward to it. I think it's exactly what I need. Good morning, it's Thursday and I've done my check-in this morning. I've had some breakfast. I didn't get out on a walk because I actually woke up late. I woke up late because I was at my dad's late last night making sure he was all right. He's not been feeling very well yesterday, which he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me until I found out by chance that he wasn't too well. And went round and did a COVID test for him, and he's got COVID, but he's struggling because he can't get about the house, which is just really, really shitty to see. However, the man did not eat anything yesterday, so as soon as you put some food in him, he's then like, oh, I can get up, and it's like, oh yeah, it's almost like feed your muscles. Oh, fucking hell, honestly. He'll probably watch this as well, and I'll say it again. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you struggle, particularly with diabetes, you need to eat, even when you don't feel like it. That's it. That's all I want to say. Anyway, enough of that. So I've sent everything off to Amy, so I'll see what she says. I didn't want to be too far away from Dad today, so I'm working from home. Takes me 4 minutes, 5 minutes to get to his house from here. So yeah, I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling good that I'm nearby, but I don't think he needs me today. He seems a lot better. I've already spoken to him this morning. But yeah, just working on a few bits today. I'm feeling good about my kind of workload at the minute. It's not too taxing. I'm on top of everything. I get like that sometimes where everything feels like it's getting on top of me, and then a couple of days later I'm on top of it, and I don't know why I do that or why that happens to me. Maggie's showing some violence today as well. But anyway, I'll let you know what Amy says when I hear from her. I'm in so much pain, so much period pain. I've come to work on the sofa. It's so bad. I'm really glad I bought this hot water bottle for my neck after my phrenic nerve thing. It's just stayed around my waist all day. I'm fucking done with this week, man. Okay, I'm out getting the last of my steps in for the day. I've just bathed Maggie as well, so I am slightly damp as I'm walking, which is not ideal. Anyway, so feedback from check-in, like, obviously that check-in was a bit overwhelming, even though Amy already knew everything that had happened this week anyway. There were a few questions to answer around, you know, do we actually know the cause? And the answer is no. Like, I won't know that, because on an x-ray, because in tests and everything, there's nothing that can tell me whether that was my phrenic nerve. But all I can do is go off all of the symptoms that I've had and all of the feedback that I've had and the treatment that I've had, and everything seems to be okay. Yes, I'm still mindful of it, but the discussion was had that I'm going to go into a upper session tomorrow, take it steady, don't be a twat, and just get in there and move, which will feel fucking lovely and get me back into movement. That is the aim of this week, because she's running through shows this weekend and next week with Dan on who's doing what shows and what have you. And then prep is more than likely going to start 30th of November, 1st of December. What the fuck? So I've got plenty of time to rest a bit, recover a bit, and go into it feeling good. The thing is with preps, there's always things that are going to happen along the way, and like stuff that you can do to manipulate it depending on what feedback you're getting from your body anyway. So it doesn't bother me that even if this happened again, which fucking hell I hope not, but even if it happened again, we know what it is, kind of, and we know what my body needs to recover from it, and what is still manageable whilst I am recovering. So there is still an element of cardio I can do. There's tools in the box, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's that's it. We're gearing up to go again. And I am excited. I fell into a bit of a prep hole earlier. Sorry, the lighting on this is so fucking bad. I fell into a prep hole earlier of what I looked like coming up to the British finals, which was my last outing, which was October the 15th or 16th, 2022. And yeah, I'm confident that I've packed on enough muscle to be like satisfied. Oh, I'm never satisfied, but like to look at it and go, yeah, I've put some shifts in, and you can tell. So yeah, getting excited. And I think having the goal will be really, really good for me. I'm looking forward to feeling so fucking focused. Prep made me feel so productive last time. And yeah, I'm starting to get excited. Even Andy's getting excited. I still need to do like a what I got for my birthday roundup. I feel like my birthday's not over yet because I haven't seen my mother and father-in-law, because they're like, we need to do your birthday. I'm like, I know. But I will do that at some point. We're seeing them next weekend, so maybe I'll round up after that. I've got a nice weekend planned with my best friend Laura and her husband before prep starts, so at least I'll get like one last I say blowout, but we're just not those kind of people. Like a few mulled wines or something around a Christmas market or something like that, a little bit of something to sign it off with anyway. And then when I see them again, I will be deep in it. And I feel I'm excited to kind of show you navigating prep as well, because it's been so long, and I don't know, I just think it's going to be so much more interesting than everything that I could have possibly shown you in my off season. So if you've been here the whole time, thank you. You've persevered through some fucking boring content, but it's about to get spicy again. I'm excited to have cheekbones. That'd be nice.
Okay.
Imagine sleeping
Start with this one. I quite
like this.
Yeah,
Oh no.
the top's lovely. Nice and crisp.
The caramel is not quite there. It probably need a little bit of cooking out.
I was about to say good morning and it's 12 o'clock. Fucking hell. It's Friday. Fucking thanks. Hopefully this weekend will be with a lot less pain, a lot less stress. It's gotta be right. I think it's gonna be high energy. I think it's gonna be high intensity. But I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fun. I've got check-ins coming in and they are great. One of my clients is in a building phase and she's been in a building phase since end of August, I would say, that we kind of pulled her up to maintenance and then pushed things a little bit higher into a surplus. It's not a hefty surplus. For lifestyle clients, I would never push like a huge surplus like you'd see in bodybuilding. Like some of the fat gain that you see me have, I would never push a client into the realms of discomfort like that. And I want people to be happy living in their bodies while still achieving the results that they want. So my client's in just a bit of surplus. She's enjoying off-plan meals with her family. She's enjoying some free calories throughout the day. And she's enjoying a little bit more autonomy with her evening meals with guidance on her macros. But for the most part, she's living with routine and consistency, but she's got a lot more freedom of choice, which you will see in a lifestyle client as opposed to bodybuilding. So my clients are not doing what I'm doing, but I'm giving them ways and means of reaching their goals, but without living necessarily as restricted as I would. And I think sometimes bodybuilders who have lifestyle clients and who have weight loss clients and stuff, I think it might put people off. And I can see why, because you might assume that, you know, my clients are eating chicken and rice and dead meals and being boring and doing excessive cardio, but they're not. But my client at the minute that's just checked in that I'm talking about, we're keeping her body composition really, really good. It's very close to where we started this push-up. So her composition hasn't changed much at all, but she's looking so much fuller in the bunda and the hamstrings. Like, that is our key area that we wanted to change. One, for her overall shape. She wanted the booty, she wanted the legs, and she's getting them. And two, is to build up some strength in her knees. She has some issues with her knees. It's taken a lot of different programming because she can't squat, she can't do some of the single leg stuff that we have previously programmed, and at one time or another it might flare. So it's taken a lot of work and working out what we can do to get some growth in the right places, because it's not just your conventional like compound movements and stuff. And I'm really, really, really happy. She looks fantastic this morning. And I sent it back to her and she was just like, oh my God, it's so good to see that kind of progress. I'm like, I know. But anyway, yeah, that's just one of my clients that's checked in today. So I will have client work to do a little bit later. I will do that when we get to where we're going later on. I'll go and feed back to everybody, and then I'll go out and get some steps and stuff. They're Andy's best friends, but they're obviously my best friends now as well. They're very used to me having to go out and do things. With prep on the horizon in a couple of weeks, I'm not being a twat this weekend, but I'm really, really glad that we've got that kind of last hurrah. I can have a drink with them, we can have some food and stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. Everything is feeling pretty good. I feel very well recovered. Oh my God, I haven't even mentioned, I trained this morning. I literally came on here to be like, had a successful training session this morning, and then just got talking about my clients. I trained a little bit of an upper session this morning, so it was nothing crazy. My strength is poor, but I'm also on what I would say is the heaviest period I've had since I was maybe 15. I don't know where that's come from. It has kicked the shit out of me since I ovulated. My mood has been horrendous. We know why that is. But yesterday, bro, this was not cool. I had to take some painkillers before bed as well because I was just absolutely fucked. But I'm not surprised that my strength is down at all. But it was still really good. My heart rate was elevated whilst I was training, but not to a point where it gave me a tight chest or anything like that, and didn't make me feel uncomfortable. Like, I wasn't worried about anything, and it was just a good session. It was a good introductory session. Obviously, like I said, strength was not great, but I wouldn't anticipate it to be great at this time anyway, just because of everything else that's going on. So yeah, that is my first Friday update. Things are good and I'm feeling so much better, because this time last week sat in A&E having a good cry to myself. So what a difference a week can make, hey? Hello, it is actually Saturday, and I know you're probably thinking, I thought you were going away for the weekend. Why are you sat at home? We got to the Airbnb last night. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and so our best friends have their 2 babies and brought both their dogs. Hattie is 3 and Tilly is 11, so Tilly don't give a shit. Tilly is like, I don't care for your bullshit, and we'll just go and take herself away and ignore anything that is like not on her vibe. Hattie, we were surprised at. Hattie did not get on with Maggie. Hattie was very snappy with Maggie. The other dogs were getting on okay, and Maggie just was not getting on well with Hattie and Tilly. Maggie spent a lot of time in our room last night, and I didn't like that. I didn't like it. So thankfully we were only staying about 40 minutes away. No, not even that, half an hour away, maybe 25 minutes at a push. So I've brought Maggie home this morning. We're just having a cuddle on the sofa. How can anyone growl at you? I don't know. But it's not nice to see. It's not nice to see. She's just a baby. she wasn't even being too boisterous either. I think she's still got that puppy smell on her, and obviously the other dogs were a little bit older and it just got their backs up. But either way, it's just not worth it, and she's my angel and I just didn't want to see her being snapped at for no reason. So I've brought her home. Andy is still with our friends and I will go back in a little bit for a couple of hours or something, but we're just gonna chill here today and make sure that she's not stressed out, because I didn't like seeing that at all. I had brunch with them this morning and then just came home and we've had snoozes. We've had biscuits and snoozes and some cuddles, and that's fine by me. Fine by me to have another doggy friendly weekend. It is Sunday. Hiya. Hiya. And I forgot about Sunday trading Oz. We came out early to go to Pet's Corner to get her a new yak stick and an antler, because I just wanted to spoil her today, to be honest, after the weekend. And yeah, it doesn't open till 10, so now it's 8:45 and we're going to go for a little walk around Hartzone Park because it's around the corner, and maybe meet lots of other dogs. So see how that goes and then just walk. Good girl. Good girl. Gorgeous. Pure chaos. See you later. We've had a very busy day, haven't we? It's been so tiring. Sorted the fridge out. Been and got her some new bowls. The fridge was a lot more drama than you'd actually expect a new fridge to be, in terms of cleaning, getting everything out, putting everything back in, having to leave it 4 hours, blah blah blah. And then I actually shredded some chicken in the slow cooker for her to try and make her meals a little bit more interesting at the minute, and to soften up the biscuits by having some really like juicy chicken breast in it. And she fucking gobbled it down, and it was so nice to actually see her eat and enjoy her food. But I was thinking I might do it for myself. Like when I was cooking it, I was like, I've put nothing on this chicken in terms of like seasonings, and it smelled so good and it's so moist. I might do it for prep because it will make my chicken go a lot further. Obviously, like it won't in terms of the weight of it, but it looks like it does. It just looks like a more, I don't know, like it's got more volume rather than 100 grams of like chicken chunks. That's not a lot of chicken, but shredded chicken, it'll go a lot further. Anyway, that was a really roundabout way of saying that. So Andy's just gone and got himself a takeaway because he's feeling sorry for himself, and the football's on. So I don't think it's going to be on for long, because he said he wanted to watch something with me because he's missed me. I feel, do you know what, I don't want to say it because I feel like if I say it, it'll happen. I feel like I've got a fucking ear infection coming on in this ear. I really, really hope not, because I just can't catch a break at the minute. But we'll see. The rest of me does not feel run down, but it feels like it's one thing after the other with me at the moment. But let's hope it isn't. Stay tuned.
Spread across the U.S. today in the wake of the 12 landings. The president has declared a mandatory dusk to dawn curfew after the crackdown by the National Guard failed to prevent a third night of looting.